Hey guys, today is Thursday, which means it is Update Thursday on Old School RuneScape, and today we have the PVM Quality of Life update and the Wilderness Rejuvenation 2 improvements. February, I believe, is Quality of Life month on Old School. We still have the PvP and skilling updates coming out as well, and in this case, they threw in the Wildy Rejuvenation 2 improvements as well. As you guys know, the Wildy Rejuvenation 2 update came out in November, I believe, and it went over pretty well, but there was a couple things that people wanted changed, for example, the Revenant's drop table, and then also how the Mage Arena 2 bosses looked. They looked very generic and not really old schooly, and they finally updated the graphics of those bosses and the Revenant's drop table as well with a couple other small improvements. So let's get right into it. So in their Wilderness Rejuvenation retrospect news post, that is a mouthful, they did agree that the Mage Arena 2 release wasn't up to their standards, it wasn't up to our standards, and they felt that they needed to remedy that by making a lot of improvements, especially to the appearance of the three bosses, which you guys are about to see. But first off, we're going to start with the Revenant drop table update. So right here, they said we learned rather quickly that you weren't very pleased with the 100 times item drop. As you guys know, you get like 100 dragon plate legs, 100 dragon plate skirts, which was, I think, like 16 mil. So it was a very expensive drop, but they felt that it wasn't very old schooly. I know that's sort of a made up word, but it didn't really, it didn't really feel like an old school RuneScape drop. It felt very artificial, and right here they said unlike any other drop in RuneScape. The GP per hour also fell after the Revenant Cave release, so to offset both of these, they've made quite a few changes to the drop table. They've completely removed the 100 times drop, and they've adjusted the weight across the normal drop table, so they're removing a couple of the, I guess, less expensive drops and putting in a couple more expensive ones, or just making the drop rate of the more expensive ones higher. They've also added statuettes as a unique drop to Revenant, so if you guys remember back in the day, statuettes were actually a drop on the pre-EOC servers, and now they're a drop for the Revenants on the old school servers. These can be sold to the Emblem Trader for 4 million GP, 8 million GP, and 16 million GP. 16 million, which was pretty much the price of the 100 times drop. And they can also be alched for 60% of their sell value. And they're hoping that these changes will bring the average GP per hour in line with what was proposed when the Revenant's Cave was first pulled. Now we're going to move on to the big one, which is the appearance of the three bosses from Mage Arena 2. They look absolutely awesome. Before we get to showing all three of them, right here we have the effectiveness of the Twisted Bow when used against Mage Arena 2 bosses has been reduced to bring it in line with the effectiveness of other weapons. So Twisted Bow has been nerfed against these bosses. And then up here we have the Demon Star drop from Saradomin and Guthix have both been removed to ensure the drops are now more thematically fitting. Here we have the first of the updated Mage Arena 2 bosses. We have the Zami boss here, obviously looking extremely Zamorak-like. His name is Parazdir, one of Zami's most trusted generals. Wait, is that a... What is that? You guys see that? Is that just my computer screen, or is that like a pink pixel on his leg? Nope, that's on them. What is that doing there? Oh, it's gonna kill me. I can't stop looking at it now. Wow. Alright, very off topic there, I apologize. Anyways, yeah, that's the Zami boss. Down here we have the new Sarah boss, whose name is Justice Zack. We're going to call him Justice Zack because that sounds a lot more cool. One of the last remaining, whatever this is, of Saradomin. He relentlessly pursues Parazdir on behalf of his god, looking very Sarah-like, very Armado-like sort of too. Got the huge sword. These are going to look really, really cool in-game. And then down here we have Derwin the Ent, looking absolutely adorable. An ancient servant of Guthix, and we have to kill this guy. Feels bad, man. He has devoted himself to maintaining balance across the Wildy. If he wants to maintain balance, why are we fighting him, man? That makes no sense to me. Who knows? But, who... Wait, is that a... Wait, that's another one, man. Is that just... That must be from the program or something. There's another pixel. Oh, that's killing me, guys. Wait, is there a pixel in... Can you guys see one here as well? No, I don't. No pink pixel in Sarah. But Zami and Guthix both have one. I'm sorry, I'm way off topic. Anyways, that's what the three updated bosses look like. Obviously, this is what people wanted. Pretty much what people expected when they first announced Mage Arena 2. Thank goodness they did update them because these look absolutely amazing in my opinion. And I actually haven't completed Mage Arena 2 on my main yet, so I may go get that done just because of how cool these bosses look now. And finally, we come to the PVM Quality of Life updates. And as you can see, we have a lot of them. It's like 30 plus updates that have come out this week. There are a couple more updates for PVM that didn't come out this week because they just didn't finish it in time or they couldn't do it this week, but they did say they didn't forget about them and they're going to be released in the coming weeks instead. They also say that the skilling quality of life poll is currently live in game, so if you guys are avid skillers or you want to see something changed about skilling, make sure to log in and check out the poll and vote on what you think should pass and come into the game. I've been sat here for like 5 minutes debating whether or not I should actually read all of these out for you guys or just read a couple of them out, the ones I think are the most important, but then I realized that everybody plays, RuneScape differently, so what's important to one person may not be important to the other, or vice versa. There's a lot of updates, so I'm just going to read through the ones that I find the most interesting, but again, I will leave a link to the news post in the description of this video if you want to check it out for yourself, but you can also just read them on screen right now, I believe. I'll just leave most of these up. But again, these are quality of life updates, so these may not be huge updates to some people, but they're small things that make the game a bit more enjoyable for you, and some of them may not have anything to do with you. For example, this one right here, we have the players with 200 mil XP in any skill will now keep receiving XP drops as though they were continuing to gain XP. So if you do train past 200 mil in a skill, congratulations, you now have XP drops. Does anybody have a 200 mil who watches this video? Let me know, because I definitely don't. I probably never will. But a quality of life update for you right there. So starting at the top, we have left click bank all when using the soul bearer to bank in souled heads. Definitely very useful. We have the right click to change your spellbook when using an occult altar in a player owned house. I'm very happy I haven't done the 1000 chompy kills yet on my hardcore man, because they just updated what it's actually like to kill the chompies. You can see up here, you can now left click to inflate the swamp toads when there are ogre bellows present in your inventory, and you can now left click to suck swamp bubbles to fill the ogre bellows with swamp gas. If you have multiple ogre bellows in your inventory, these will fill as well. So the process pretty much just became a bit more automated, a bit less tedious. So doing those chompy kills will now be less annoying, hopefully. It's still very annoying. Don't get me wrong, chompy kills are still very annoying, but the whole left click, right click thing was very annoying previously, and this will definitely make it a lot more bearable. The Crystal Halley now does full damage to Corp. If you guys didn't know before that, its damage was actually reduced against the Corp beast, but now its damage is now full. The Gravestone, which requires payment, may now take payment directly from your bank. So if you do die at something like Vorkath, you don't have to bring 100k with you. You can now pay it directly from your bank, which is also amazing. Small, medium, and large storage chests within raids now only require 2, 4, and 6 Malignum root planks respectively in order to make them. The Dagonoth bones dropped when killing Dagonoth kings now prioritize over the Dagonoth hide when both of the items are on the floor. Herb seeds with a higher value will now appear over the seeds that are less useful or have a lower value. You can now right click on the crevice shortcut within the Kalphite lair to listen to whether other adventurers are fighting Kalphite Queen. You can also do the same thing now when you're in Crux Dungeon to check whether other players are present. Vedion will now use its magic attack less frequently than before, and its melee range has also been reduced. Chaos Elemental will now teleport you less frequently, and Callisto's knockback will also occur less frequently. There is now a Staff of Light in the game, which can be created by combining the Saradomin's Light with a Staff of the Dead, and this can be used to autocast Saradomin's Strike. Grotesque Guardians now have a timer added for players to track their fastest kills. These times can be viewed via the adventure log in your player-owned house. And now we have, I think, one of the biggest updates of the week. You can now hand Kraken Tentacles to leave to further enhance the number of charges held by the Trident of the Seas, and in this case, it's 20,000 charges. So up from 2,500, the max amount of charges you can now have in a Trident is 20,000, which is a lot of charges. Once Leave has been given 10 Kraken Tentacles, your Trident can now hold up to 20,000 charges. So if you did invest in Kraken Tentacles, congratulations. You just made yourself a lot of money, because there's a lot of people buying tentacles at the moment, and they're probably very high in demand. So what do you guys think of this one? You think this is cool? I mean, I'm very happy that they increased the amount of charges you can get in a Trident now. 20,000 is very cool. But man, 10 Kraken Tentacles, I guess it's fair. It's a pretty OP update. So 10 Kraken Tentacles is what you need. Here's one of my personal favorites of this week's update. If you guys try to use a special attack with insufficient energy, for example, if you try to spec with the SGS and you only have 40%, instead of the special attack failing and no attack occurring, a regular attack will now be performed instead. This is very, very great, because I did this all the time, for example, when doing Slayer, like I said earlier, with the SGS. Instead of your SGS failing and you just standing there, your SGS will now attack whatever you were attacking, but the spec won't happen, obviously, just a regular attack instead. This is very, very great. Happy that is finally in the game. And you can now talk to a wounded soldier found outside the Lizardman Canyon to see how many adventurers are currently in the East and West Canyons. And that's pretty much it for this week's update. Again, sorry if I missed any of these that you found, I should have talked about, but I will leave a link in the description, as I said. And don't forget to discuss these updates in the comment section of this video. What do you guys think of the quality of life updates? Do you think these are great? Do you think something should be changed? Do you think they should have added something to PVM quality of life? Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, we have the in other news as well. Really nothing major here, nothing really worth talking about. There was an issue with optimization of the friends list last week that they did end up fixing. It pretty much meant that the minimap didn't show your clan chat members correctly. And these two issues have finally been fixed. So, yep, that's pretty much it for that. And then finally, all the way down here, Old School is having its 5th birthday on the 22nd of February, and they're going to have a very special 3-hour stream planned to celebrate their birthday. That's on the new RuneScape Twitch channel, twitch.tv/oldschoolrs. If you guys haven't followed that already, make sure you guys do follow that. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's update video. And again, go check out these updates for yourself if you haven't already. Hope to see you next time. Have a good one, and peace.
Wow.